The media office of Gaza's Hamas government described the attack as a war crime.
They left the victims. Now they are trying to put out fire. They are trying to enter the building to save whatever medical supplies left. At the same time, they are searching for survivors or other victims. The entire compound has turned into flames. Scenes are horrible, horrifying. It is indescribable, heart-wrenching, painful scenes. I cannot put this to words.
Israeli airstrikes on a Gaza hospital compound, sheltering displaced people on Tuesday killed at least 200, the health ministry in the Hamas-run Palestinian territory said. 200 to 300 displaced people killed in occupation Israeli strikes on the yard of the Ali Arab Hospital in central Gaza, the ministry said. Hundreds of victims are still under the rubble, it added. The media office of Gaza's Hamas government described the attack as a war crime. Tens of thousands of families have flocked to Gaza's overwhelmed hospitals, seeking refuge from seemingly endless Israeli army shelling. Israel has been bombing targets in Gaza since Hamas militants from the territory attacked southern.
The attack that we are watching and witnessing playing out on our screens is going to make it that much more difficult for the president now. We do know that the president is set to leave the White House in the coming hours. It is a window for that departure. And the reason for that window has a lot to do with the events on the ground in Gaza right now, given the fact that he is continuing to get advice from his top national security advisors in real time. They are watching their television screens just as we are and making decisions based on the events on the ground, consulting with experts in the region. And so this will no doubt play into the factoring into that departure time, given the fact that there are many decisions that have to be made. What we have seen in the last 24, 36, 48 hours is a bit of a shift in the tone and language coming out of the White House. Earlier in the week, there was no question that what we saw from this White House was a very tough tone, one that was very much echoing that of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, that the United States was standing shoulder to shoulder with Israel, that Israel had a right to defend itself. The U.S. would provide military support, that the missile interceptors were on their way. But in the more recent hours, what we've seen is more of a shift towards highlighting and prioritizing the humanitarian support and making sure that the people of Gaza got the food, the medicine, and the water that they need, making sure that civilians got the safe passage out of Gaza and that it didn't benefit Hamas. And so that is what we are hearing. Now, in terms of accomplishing those goals, it is still something that the U.S. president says that he has to work with the leaders in the region, the Israeli prime minister. He is meeting with the King of Jordan, King Abdullah, the Egyptian President Sisi, and also the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas, when he will be in the region for a very short visit. But one of those primary goals is this humanitarian crisis. So there's no question about it that that is going to be even more of a priority in light of what we are seeing right now, the attack on this hospital.
Israel on October 7th, triggering a war which has left thousands of dead on both sides. The hospital was housing hundreds of sick and wounded, and people forcibly displaced from their homes because of other strikes, the statement said. Al Jazeera footage from the scene showed medics and civilians recovering bodies with white bags or blankets. Bloodstains and multiple torched cars were visible in the dark hospital courtyard. Israeli military spokesman Daniel Hagari told a televised press briefing, "We will look into it. The strike happened just a short while ago. Hospitals had been attractive refuges for the displaced, because they had been relatively spared from the Israeli bombing raids. Around 3,000 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes across the Gaza Strip since the war erupted on October 7th. More than 1,400 people in Israel have been killed, the majority gunned down by Hamas militants, who crossed from Gaza and attacked border communities. If you would love to be updated on any current news, please follow, like, and subscribe so that we can keep you updated. Thanks for watching.